Hello everybody and welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews, where we do reviews in 10 minutes or less. If we are able, we do shoot for that. We primarily focus on books and authors. And again, we don't go for high literature. We are going for entertainment. A lot of times we look for lesser known authors, indie authors, the kind of books you could get for free on Amazon, because those are the books that are the most entertaining. We're not doing the big name authors. I'm Jason. This is my lovely wife Amy, who's feeling a little under the weather, so she's not going to be as talkative as normal. And for today, I want to talk about someone who turned into one of my favorite authors, although the pace of their books coming out slowed down a little bit, so I've kind of forgotten about them. I need to check if the newest book has come out. But they have a series called Damned and Cursed, and this author is Glenn Bullion. And it's an urban fantasy, which means it's in modern times, but with fantastical characters such as vampires and demons and such like that. Now, the thing that's so great about Glenn Bullion, one, is his world building. World building is absolutely fantastic. Two, the dialogue. Really, really, really good. It's snark, sarcasm, and assholes. And three, he writes really good action scenes and just has really good plot lines overall. Now, for an entry into this book, into this series, I would actually recommend Jack Cursed with a K. Pronounces it Cursed, Jack Cursed. He is a character that is, well, cursed. He was cursed a long time ago by a witch's curse to where he cannot die. Along with that, he cannot sleep. So he's basically an immortal insomniac. And because of that, he has done a couple of things. One, he's become extremely rich and extremely powerful, because if you live long enough, you can become very, very, very rich. And with money comes power. And two, he has become utterly, completely, totally desensitized to the human race. He has almost nothing in common with people. He doesn't care about people, at least in theory. And he is blunt to the extreme. I mean, just a minor example is he's in a hotel room, or in a hotel. As he's walking down the hallway, there's a lady trying to struggle down the hallway with like 8 suitcases, and she's got the key in her hand, and she gets near her room and drops one of the suitcases, and she looks at him and the usual, kind of stranger thing, hey, can you give me a hand? And he looks at her and goes, you should have packed less shit, and just keeps walking, because in his mind, she's an idiot because she should have packed less shit. So yeah, he's absolutely sarcastic, but more of a blunt sarcasm, more of a saying the things that we all wish we could say in public. He says them because he doesn't care, and he's rich and powerful enough that it doesn't matter. And the basic thrust of the book is him meeting a young girl and a child, and that's in a rough spot. And for whatever reason, she trips his trigger as far as his humanitarian side finally starts showing up again. Or possibly it could be because the people currently taking care of her simply pissed Jack off. It's really hard to say, because he can also go homicidal when he's pissed off. Because again, he can't die. Hit him in the head with an axe, he's just going to be really pissed off. Well, and then beat you to death with that axe as the axe wound heals. Because he can get hurt. He just can't die. And just imagine how grumpy you are after 2 nights without sleep. So now imagine 200 years without sleep. That's how grumpy Jack is. But he also meets other characters. And again, the Jack Cursed book is the absolute best one, in my opinion, to enter into this series. However, you can enter pretty much at any point, because every single book so far is self-contained. They do start having characters show up in each other's books, but the main character of each book tends to be a different type of supernatural. You've got Jack Cursed, the immortal insomniac. Then you have a male witch that is, and witches are hunted because they have the potential to be so powerful. Then you have an ancient vampire that also happens to be a friend of Jack's, and then ends up a friend of Kevin the Witch, who Jack ends up being a friend with. And then you've got a guy that's half demon. He turns into a demon. Then you've got a werewolf. And then a couple of books, like I said, they kind of combine into similar plot lines where the Avengers have to team up, kind of thing. But for the most part, they're all individual books talking about their own struggles. They all have their own struggles, their own issues, their own things to deal with. A lot of times, they're almost slice of life type, normal, everyday crap. If you were supernatural, normal, everyday crap. That's a fantastic series.
We should do that one.
And yeah, you guys got to check it out. So normally this is where I would say, you know, spoilers ahead, but this is such a large series and they're all so different. I really can't give you any spoilers because each individual book, again, covers a different character. I will talk about a few little things here and there. So I would recommend you guys hit the like and subscribe buttons and then turn the video off and go check out Glenn Bullion's Damned and Cursed series. Otherwise, you know, just talk about a couple of the things. You know, Jack, his, you know, part of his thing, you know, he has the child whom he eventually adopts. And then in the, I want to say the Vampires book, first or second book where the vampire, the ancient vampire is the main character, she ends up coming across the witch who's being hunted. So she helps him out, and I believe she calls Jack to help him out, who doesn't like Kevin a whole lot, but he doesn't like anybody a whole lot. So, I mean, you've been awake for 200 years, you're not going to like yourself, much less anybody else. So then in Kevin's book, amusingly enough, he's being hunted and he turns out to be extremely, of course the witches are very powerful, but it's very clever in how powerful they are, and it's pretty amusing. And at one point, the witch is babysitting Jack's kid, and that goes sideways. And the witch actually utterly messes these dudes up so bad, and yet it was a thing of mercy because he wanted to make sure he messed him up so bad that Jack wouldn't show up to take care of it. Then you've got the demon, the guy who turns into a demon, he's half demon or something along those lines, and his girl, and they're also friends with the vampire. Oh, and the witch also manages to make a magic device that enables Jack to finally sleep for short periods of time, which is probably why Jack doesn't end up ripping his head off and beating him with it. So yeah, I mean, just I can't recommend this series strongly enough. This series is fantastic. In fact, as soon as I end this video, I'm going to go double check, make sure a new book hasn't come out on it, because it's been a couple years since the last one. And yeah. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. If you guys have any books that you would like us to check out, or any books you just want to chat about or talk about, email us or just comment on the comment line below. Otherwise, hit the like and subscribe buttons. We appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.